new Truman boots and a new last. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dale of Dale's Leatherworks, and in today's video, I'm of course super excited, as always, to be unboxing a new pair of Truman boots and discuss their new 56 last. That's right. You guys might remember Truman had what was called a 55 last not long ago, and I have a pair of those in Rogine horse rump that I will compare here shortly. When I saw Truman running horse butt in galloon leather in olive, I said, I have no further questions, sign me up. So I actually put in an order for these Trumans, except I am a creature of habit. It's no secret, I love the 79 last. Both the 79 and the 20 last have been some of my favorite Truman boots over the years. The 79 is just iconic, it's beautiful, nice rounded out toe, fits my foot absolutely perfectly. It's generous through the waist and in the heel as well. So just a really, really good fit. So I have these Trumans on the 79 last in cinnamon horse rump and Galloon's navy horse rump as well. And I put in the order for these in the 79 and I said, you know what? I'm already getting questions about the 56 last. And I asked the Truman team, guys, can we switch it to the 56? Sure enough, they did it. They accommodated me. Axel says hello. When I see Truman doing runs of these exotic galloon horse rump leathers, every new color just becomes a new temptation. I don't regret any of these. This is all just the craziest horse rump I have ever experienced. It's different, it's similar to Shinky, but it's more robust, more beefy, in my opinion, more character in a lot of cases than Shinky. All right, what are we drinking today? Oh, yeah. Michter's Small Batch Original Sour Mash. People like it when I drink in videos, right? I get some complaints and some cheers, so to that I say cheers. But real quick, before I continue on with the video, I already see the questions rolling in. The comments, Dale, that is one incredible sweater. Where did you get that sweater from? That's the nicest sweater I've ever seen. Yes, it is indigo dyed, and yes, it is from Gustin. So this is the Gustin Indigo Contrast Stitch Crewneck Sweatshirt, available at Gustin, currently fully stocked for 99 bucks. Typical retail for something like this would be between $140 and $200, but at Gustin you save money because the vendor reduces risk on himself by doing a pre-order model I actually did pre-order this, but it looks like they have some in stock on the website. So indigo dyed to perfection, made right in the USA, now with a special nod to selvage denim in the form of classic orange contrast stitching. This is the ultimate crewneck sweatshirt with a vintage twist. Our crewnecks were the first garments to get treated to this special indigo dyed French terry. We added a new twist that calls back to the heritage of indigo by adding a new construction twist. The result is a fresh look on top of a fabric that's just drop dead beautiful. You know the start, a heavy all cotton French terry. It's a big 14 ounces and has a nicely vintage feel to it. The use of indigo dye creates a star out of this garment. You simply can't get colors this beautifully rich using any other type of dye. This version is an impossibly deep, inky, dark indigo. With time, it will evolve and age like your best pair of raw denim. The color will soften around the hems, first as it takes on a wear pattern unique to you. Finally, we use a contrast stitch similar to that used on our denim. It transforms these sweatshirts into styles you simply won't find anywhere else. It's a bright pop of color that instantly reminds you of our first true love. Raw selvage denim sewn up in vintage style. Indigo beauty applied, vintage stitching, all at a huge value. And so yeah, I got both this light blue and the dark blue as part of the pre-order, and I see both are available on the website, so click my link in the description below and go shop around if you're so interested. A little bit about the 56 last. So Truman says, our new 56 last is available in both D and double E widths and features a refined, pointier toe with a minor increase in volume from our previous 55 last. We recommend the same sizing across all of our lasts. All three of our lasts run big by a half size, so the general recommendation is to size down a half size from your dress shoe or sneaker sizing. Oh. Yeah, so these are my Trumans in Ruggine horse rump, built on the 55 last, and I got these in a size 9 since I am a 9 Brannick. And yeah, they're just a little large, though nothing that I can't deal with. I just wear a thicker sock and the fit is fine. In fact, these remind me of the sizing reminds me of like an Alden in 8.5 or Viberg in 8.5. So it's totally a size that I have worn and wear comfortably. But this time around, I said, you know what, since the scale is consistent between all of these lasts, all that means is they're not using one scale on the 79 last in a size 8.5 that would match the scale of the 56 last in a size 9. All heel to ball, all of their sizes are heel to ball going to be the same. And so the measurement from heel to ball, which is the widest point, in 8.5 is going to be consistent from last to last. So these 56 lasted ones might look a little longer. They might appear longer than the 79 last in the same size. The heel to ball length is still the same. And so yeah, I'm trying to line up the heels perfectly. I do see that it appears that this 56 last is a little bit longer cosmetically, but when I look at the heel to ball on both boots, it's the same. And so we got left boot. And so yeah, it looks like the 56 is longer. But again, a lot of shoemakers and boot makers create a longer toe for cosmetic purposes, and that's what is going on here. Yeah, the heel to ball is exact. Yeah, definitely I recommend opting for your usual Truman size if you're going to go for the 56 last. So let's get a look at this 56 versus the 5 last. That's interesting. Yeah, they almost appear to be the same length. In fact, the 56 on a size 8.5 almost looks a little longer than the 55 last in a size 9. Yeah, that is interesting. But yeah, I could kind of see some differences. It looks like on the 56 last, this interior portion cuts in a little deeper, and it's a little bit less pointy. Yeah, a little bit less pointy than the 55. Just a little bit less. It's definitely a little bit more rounded out at the toe compared to the 55. It's definitely got more of a point. So both are phenomenal lasts. Dang, I just got all kinds of horse's butt on this table here. I tried them on once, and I didn't walk in them yet, but I absolutely love the fit of the 56 last. It's definitely an improvement from the 55, and I would say if you had any trouble with the 55, you can rest assured I think the 56 last is a huge improvement from the 55 for sure. So it looks like they phased out the 55 and just further refined it. And we see it here in this beautiful new elegant almond shaped toe last here. And then the olive horse rump is just wild. I talked it all up in my Truman Cinnamon HORSERUMP boots, and I went all in on the details of the Galloon Tannery and all that, so I won't rehash all that here. But one thing that I did differently this time around is I'm really loving this Truman Boots, the Eugene sole. And specifically, I went olive HORSERUMP, cap toe, Eugene, it's what they call the regrind sole, which is like an earthy, olivey type colored sole that I thought just contrasted just beautifully against that olive HORSERUMP. Wow. I went 270-degree flat welt, matching hardware, no pull tabs. I went for antique hardware. So the olive HORSERUMP is the result of Galloon Leather's extensive experience in tanning, using a myriad of unique extracts, oils, and waxes. This vegetable tanned HORSERUMP is transformed into a hardy, beautiful leather. In terms of color, olive HORSERUMP is a full spectrum of earthy, mossy greens. It features beautiful variation and unique veining. These navy HORSERUMPs I didn't review because my buddy Mario ordered a pair and I reviewed his instead. So when these came, I just threw them on and started walking around in them. I was so excited about these. But I got a really gnarly piece of HORSERUMP on the cap toe there. And it's so much fun comparing the HORSERUMP from Galloon Tannery, like not only color to color, but then also comparing it to some HORSERUMP from Mariam Tannery in this Ruggine. So obviously the Ruggine, all four of these are vegetable tanned. However, I believe what's going on with the Galloon is obviously they're using different horse hides here in America, but the horse hides used by Galloon definitely have a higher, wow. So the navy's 7.5 ounces. The cinnamon is 6.25 ounces. Oh, that's because the tongue on the navy is double-sided. It looks like, yeah, double layered. And then on the olive is 6.25 ounce. So actually, I'm pretty sure all these are 6.25 ounces. The navy, they just added a lining to the tongue to make it seem thicker. Then on the Mariam, clocking in at just 6 ounces. The weight is about the same. However, the grain is completely different. On the Mariam, as you can see, it's completely smooth throughout the grain. And as time goes on, the Mariam HORSERUMP starts to fade. It's not as glazed. It starts to lose a little bit of its glazed appearance. Even I did condition these, and still the color starts to dull out over time. Now again, I want to emphasize that's not Truman's fault. That is a characteristic of Mariam horsebutt. As you can see, I threw in my own branded Dale's Leatherworks Fire Red Mariam horsebutt kilties in there to match. I think it's just a killer combo. But in the case of the Galloon leathers, there's a lot more character to the grain of the leather, and my theory behind that is I'm thinking that they're shrinking the leather through a process of heating it up, possibly tumbling it. I'm not exactly sure, maybe not tumbling, but I think perhaps they are cooking it to a certain degree that allows it to shrink. Horween does this with their Chrome Excel. They heat it up and they shrink the hides by 30%. It reduces their yield. It reduces the amount that they could actually profit off of in terms of cost per square foot. However, Horween does this because it yields a better product, and that's their only objective, really. Their objective isn't necessarily just profit. They have integrity in what they do. They actually want to produce a good product. That's my sense of what they're doing at Galloon as well. They're trying to produce a good product. In doing so, they know that they have to shrink it down. That cuts away at their bottom line, but they don't care. Guys that are in this for the integrity and for the hard work and for the end product, they do not care if it costs them money. They're going to do it right anyways. That's something I could stand behind. Since we're doing this, might as well pull this out. So this is my Mariam, a side of my Mariam navy TPR coated horse butt, and you can see some awesome honeycombing here in the leather. You could get these on my website. You can get kilties made out of these. As you can see here, here's the shell membrane. The shell membrane's up here, but as you can see on the smooth side, it's mostly smooth over that shell area, whereas the real honeycombing takes place down here, which is the non-shell area. So I don't want to conflate it too much because there is some honeycombing over the shell area, but the striking bulk of the honeycombing takes place on the bottom portion here where there is no shell. The shell is this saturated membrane up here. Oh, sorry, actually, the shell is this portion, this top portion. This is, I don't know what this is, and then this is standard butt. So this is like probably a cross section and or like a hybrid version of shell meets skin. Again, I'm not an expert. This is just conjecture, but yeah, the shell portion, I'm seeing it now. there's a little honeycombing, but not much. The real honeycombing takes place down here. And so that's what I surmise is going on in these boots. So how much shell is in these? Well, I don't know. I'd have to look at the reverse side. But since we're on horse butt, I also have this forest green Mariam TPR horse butt. I bought a bunch of this because I actually sent some to Willie's to make me some engineers out of. But here we go. Here's the shell, and this is why this is being sold as a horse butt side, is because you see the shell. It's not consistent. It's not an oval. It's kind of like erratic right here. So no shoemaker is going to be able to take this and utilize just the shell to make a shoe out of it. It's too inconsistent, so they just sell the whole piece as a horse butt, and everybody wins. So yeah, as you can see, this side, and you contrast that against the boots, completely different character going on. The galloon is stiffer. Yeah, stiffer. The temper is a lot looser on the Mariam stuff. So the Mariam stuff is traditional, and it's old school, and it's very much what you'd expect. The galloon is just like, if you imagine, galloon's a small tannery. I think 4 or 5 guys work there, and I don't even know if they're all full-time. But if you imagine like a few guys just trying to make the best, damn strongest horse butt that they possibly can, they don't care how long it takes or how much it costs. This is what you will get. This here is what you get. Whereas Mariam, you know, they're a little bit more mainstream. Not really. They're still very much boutique-y. They're not by any stretch a Lafargue. Mariam is still a small batch tannery, but galloon is micro batch. That's why unpacking and analyzing leather is so much fun, is because it's almost the smaller the operation, the better the outcome. And you can see that from a consumer standpoint. You can see it as it shrinks, it gets better. As it grows, it gets worse. It's kind of like, you know, what can we compare that to? I don't know. Franchise restaurants. The magic is in the small maker. That's why I think Truman Boots shines, is because Vince still has a strong hold over his operation. He's on the floor every day. He's inspecting everything, QCing. I mean, he's involved, just as involved as he always has been from day one. The results speak for themselves. So one thing I'll say about this Eugene outsole is, what I love about it is I typically like a flatter sole. Why do I like flat soles? Well, because it doesn't track debris into the house. These heavy lug commando soles, they're great for gripping, they're great for hiking, but look at this, rocks, sticks, they get stuck in there. So in terms of traction goes, yes, these are superior, but I like a nice flat sole, and this Eugene sole is a perfect compromise because it's got just enough tread on it to allow you to have some purchase on the ground that you're walking on, some grip. However, the amounts of mud and dirt and debris that are going to get stuck in these tiny little diamond etches, none. You're not going to bring any into the house. And so that's another thing I really love about this outsole. Yeah, one more thing I'll say about the Eugene outsole is, you know, it's flat like the earth. You know, is the earth completely flat? No, obviously there's mountains, peaks and valleys and stuff like that. But ultimately, it looks something like this, right? It's kind of like a flat, it's not a planet. It's not a ball, okay? That's impossible. That would be impossible. It's more like a flat plane with dips and little protrusions here and there, little mountains here and there, hills, plains, rivers, valleys, but ultimately it's still flat when you really zoom out. So anyway, and Truman nailed it. To all of you who tuned into my last Truman video, Are They Shutting Down? Thank you guys so much for entertaining that. That video was a lot of fun to make. It caused a little bit of a stir, but I stand firm behind my prediction. I don't think Truman Boots is going away. A lot of people were worried. I don't think that's the case. Look at what a special product and the team are able to kick out. Would they step away from that? Use your own judgment. I do not believe that they are throwing in the towel. But I know that Vince, he's a skilled guy, and he's always got and new opportunities arise when you're skilled and when you're in demand. New opportunities come up, and he may see a window of opportunity to branch out and create a new line. That's what I think. That's what I predict is going on. Again, I'm not asking him. I don't want him to tell me. In fact, he wants to stay vague about it, and I respect that 100%. I'm not going to get into somebody's business when they're hard at work planning for the future. That's the last thing I want to do. Just kind of want to share my insights after having watched this brand closely for the past 8 years of my life. Whatever they have in store, it's gonna be awesome. So know that much. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Please let me know your thoughts on this makeup. Did I nail it? I think I did, though I am biased, so you can let me know in the comments below what you think about this build. Come on, who else is making stuff like this? Is awesome. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. What are your thoughts on the new 56 Last? I'm a huge fan. I hope to see more makeups like this into the future. As always, I will leave a link in the description below for Truman. If you click that link, I might get a small commission. And if you use my code DALE at checkout, you can save 10%. Another indicator that perhaps Truman is going nowhere is their loyalty program that they just set up, like literally a month ago. Why would they set up a loyalty program and then give up the operation? Ask yourself that. So anyways, I've gone on long enough. Thanks so much for watching, guys. End of transmission.